The holy people created human beings for purposes. And for one of the purpose to gather data in the brain, the holy people created the ears. So that you can gather all the data of your culture, your history, teaching, songs, and prayers. And you have to be present with the person that's talking. That's the only way you're going to learn.
So no writing.
No writing.
What's the reason?
Writing is just between the fingers and the mind. But when you hear it, you look around and you get all the data when you look around without no focus on paper and pencil.
Some of these petroglyphs right here,
They use it in
and
ceremony.
so
It's called Seiji.
these are like turkey feet representing. They were the ones that brought beans, corn, and then other seeds
This one right here is
from during the time.
This one.
So that's what they're actually talking about.
Mormon
Where that these are.
But
So
in ceremony wise, we drink it.
It grew. So there's one male and
you can lose weight to that.
It was and Hashchawan. They were the ones that grew the seeds. Ikidila. When this young man had a turkey as a friend, and then he had to leave because he what he did was he ended up without any agreement with the father. He ended up making one of the daughter as a girlfriend, and the father didn't like it. So then the father says, I'm going to destroy him. So then after that, and then so he had to go into a big log where talking God had to put him into a log and put him into the San Juan River, and then from there he had to leave, separate from the the turkey. So 4 years he was away, and then finally, as he was walking, they were both lonely, and then the turkey was like roaming around. Finally, they came back together, and then he says, he heard, the sound of the gobbling of the turkey, and then the young man heard that, and then looked around and saw his turkey, and then the turkey says, the young man says, "Oh, Shalino," and then from there, gave the turkey a hug, and then when the turkey goes down and it spreads its wing, so what he was doing was he put a mark into the ground, and it shook his feathers, and then all these seeds came out. And then they said, "What is this?" So then Hashilti came over and Hashewa. And then from there, then they said, we're going to put it into the ground. So the young man didn't know what it was. So then they said, well, we're going to go ahead and, we'll take care of it. And then said to the young man, you take care of it. So we're going to ask the rain, and then did some offerings for the cornfield. So then the corn grew, and it grew, and then from there, that was that happened. So from there, and then after that, but it was just mainly around the corn girls, with changing woman. So this is what it's actually saying, So that person is a young man up there. That's the hourglass. So, and of course he was a warrior, and that's what this whole thing is talking about. name to it, but they call it the Mormon tea. So, Zahi. Yeah, so that's what it's called. It's a healing plant, and that one is called Tzadate. So when it grows, it brings really beautiful purple lavender flowers, and it's very beautiful. So there's some right here, and they did because what they did was that just there's a lot of stories. See, there's extra drawings that they did. There was some more, and some on the bottom. Looks like it came off and everything. But what they did was that they honored, like saying, how whilst you'll hear Navajo say son shema the sky, my father, and they'll say Johana Eshitha, meaning the sun is my father too. My is one of my so the reason why was because in that time during the evolutions and in the time they were creating Navajos, that was when they also made offerings to the sun, so that the sun can use the sunshine so that the person can grow. And that was the reason why they always used to honor the sun. And then sometimes the moon. We'll see there's one behind there, like an eclipse that they drew and everything. So well, this is not real. That one is a seed right there again. A seed meaning the seed, and then the same thing. So it's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then up here. So a lot of it, like there's some on this side, and then they're all here, and then a lot of them, like they have horns, because the reason why Monster Slayer and Child Born for Water, they when they became when they were changed, they were told to when they got to their father, the sun. So when you see a sand painting in a book, but for the Navajos, they see sand paintings. The sun usually has a horn, and so overall, I don't know, but nowadays how Navajo elderlies are. But I remember that if you're a Navajo, when you're a child, these three young kids, we can look at their scalp, and they're gonna have like a very light, probably light hair color on both sides, and sometimes it's usually white or just yellowish or light brown, and those represents that Navajo. That's their horn. So usually, even a baby, when you look at it, the baby will have two white hairs on them. So that means you're a Navajo. So, and then as you're growing, so overall, and that's how it all goes and everything. So, and then, so when they went up to the sky, they were in different forms, like just spirits. When they got up there, and then they said, okay, so they went through all these chests, and then the son says, you are my children. Then after that, and then that's when the son says, I have some children here, your brothers and sisters. So they came over and massaged them, and then they mold them to perfect face and everything, and then they gave them a hat, and the hat that they wore was, see, this one has horns and everything. So you'll see some down in the other wall. This is a consistent. So that's how it goes. And then so right now there was some at the bottom. So it's, the wall is deteriorating and everything. So petroglyphs. So there's two ways of saying it. Petroglyphs is when they blow like paint on it, is petroglyphs. Pectoglyph is when it's pecked. So that's how you know pectoglyph or petroglyph. So if you see this is not petroglyph, it's pectoglyph. But then they say your hands has oil on it. So if you touch it, then it starts deteriorating. So the best thing to do is not even touch it. If you want to make an offering, you have to make an offering to it. So this, as I said, is clouds. And also you see this, so this is the turkey right here. And it goes up, not turkey, corn. So this cloud also represents the holy people. So when a medicine man is sitting, this is their knees right here, and their shoulders, and their head. And that's what it represents. And it's usually on the baskets when the rainbow and then the holy people are sitting on it. And that's what the whole design is also considered with. So, and then this plant right here is called Wasutsahi. And this Wasutsahi is usually used in the ceremony called Chishija. And kind of like the hickory cactus windway chant. So they use this. The medicine man will get the perfect one. So I don't know what these writings, these characters are, what they are. There's a person on here that's riding a horse. I don't know what these drawings really mean. I'll be honest with you. And this one. So have anybody know what it really means?
Be present when the person is talking. That's the only way you can learn.
So I gave you a test. I do know what this is. So
I was gonna say that looks like a fire, but these big piñons, remember those things, those bushes?
That one comes from the dollar store.
This one's going into you. He just got back from the VA.
Yeah.
So this one's a veteran.
So, this panel, it talks about fire dances. These are fire dances. Yes, and then these. So in the sand painting, this is how that you would draw on the sand painting. So, anyways, the calves represents they are standing that way, but then that's how the calves are. Talking about it. But so there's no Navajos, but the holy people are the ones that had a better calves. So hooray for them! But so this was when you're making the sand painting. This is what you draw on the sand painting in the mountain. The mountain way, the Tzilkija. And these are some of the sand paintings. And these are fire dances. And so they're holding, usually a lot of them, like these, they have so many lines on them. And then you're thinking, oh, why? So then there's feathers like this that comes out. And then, so then they call this Qatsohistan. That's the one that, they put down the throat. So these are like fire dancers. So these are some of them they dance around and they jump into the fire. Into the fire, they're called fire dancers. and the person in the middle, and then there's the next one is another group of them. They say, okay, from Peonia, they're having another fire dances coming from there. So this would be his group. So there was two groups that come, and then they participated. That would be his panel. This would be his panel. And this is how you'll see when you go to that 9-day, I guess you would say, Bearway chant. And this is the birds that, they sing about, and then there's a song that goes with it. So, and that's what it's actually talking about. So, and there's different images. So all of it is talking about the fire dance. So this person or these people that were here, it looks like they were more into fire dances. So they drew more about it, or their family knew a lot of things about bear. But this is more in the Bearway chant, or Tsilkija. Tsilkija is the mountain ceremony, mountain way, but it's not the lightning way. Lightning way is different. Their drawings are different. So, but I was just like saying I didn't know, but then it makes you think, man, I wish we had that person, or I wish we knew him. He did this. So, but you came up with so many things. See, so a lot of times people come over and say, "Oh, I wonder what this is." I think this is what it is. I think this is what it is. People start doing that. See, but good thing, when I came with the medicine man, remember that sand painting that we were doing? This is okay. And then remember that song? So then they would sing the song and everything. So it was according to that. So, but good thing I learned it. Yeah.
Does that mean they rode in on horses?
This one, I guess, yeah, people travel. Around that time, they didn't have any vehicles, so they came over. Like they would say, is before they go into the last day, people would camp out. If the fire dance was right here, Liz would have her own group, and then Kent would have his own group, and you had your own groups. And that Friday, Thursday night, then they get all of their regalias and everything, and they would practice and dancing and everything. That night, they would dance at the fire and everything, practice until the final night. They had to be perfect. So on Saturday, then that's when, like right here, there's a line. And then, okay, we're going to go in and we'll do our thing and everything 4 times and everything. Then we leave, and then that next group, they will go in. They do their own thing, they leave, and then next group goes in. So there's usually a line, a group of people. I like the fire dance because you see all these different ceremonies, the wind wave chant, the lightning wave chanters, the Yebuches, the Hojone wave. All these medicines come from different parts of the reservation, and then they say, we're going to show our dance to heal and everything. So it's really neat, but the only thing is it's really smoky though. But yeah, but that's when you see a lot of them. Yeah.
Is the patient in this one? Because there's a diagnostics, right? Before fire dance, you would diagnose that person and say, well, you need the mountain way or the bear way as part of the fire dance. Would the patient be represented here?
I thought that was a patient because it looks like he's holding it and he's putting it down the arrow down that little figure.
Wow.
Or is,
Overall, talking about diagnose, when you get something diagnosed, the medicine man will say, okay, I'm going to diagnose, or hand trembling, and then the patient would say, okay, so this is what's wrong with you. It's telling me it's the mountain way. Then, did you do anything with the bear or something like that that consists that it's telling me that you need to have this thing done? Then the person will say, I went to the zoo and I fed the bear, or touched the bear's nose, because it that has a very very strong. You did something, or there's a bear pelt. You probably like put it on, saying you're rich or whatever, But then that bear spirit will take you, and it'll do stuff to you, and then the medicine will say, okay, we're gonna go ahead and do this small portion as a ceremony, just to give you the medicine. But then, and then they'll say it's going to be up to you. But then it's also saying it's best to have the 5-day chant. Once you have that 5-day chant or 4-day chant, then they give you a bead. So there's 4 different kinds of beads. The first bead, it would be white shell, and then it could be any other bead. It depends on the medicine man. So then you go through that treatment. Then the second one would be turquoise. Then the third ceremony would be abalone. The fifth one would be the black jet. See, so you have to have all of these things in order for you to fully. Then the last one, you have to have the 9-day chant. See, so you go under that that primary care, under that medicine man. So at the last one, then that's when the medicine man will say, okay, you're not under my care anymore. You're fully healed and everything. So then that's how it's done. So you can't just jump in and then say, I want to have a 9-day chant. It's up to you if you want to, but it's best to go through the whole process, to have that done. But because of the beads, the last one, when you have all of these beads, they tie it onto your hair, and then they'll say, so do you have the first bead, the white shell? Yes. And then, okay, I'm gonna put that one back on, and I'm gonna put the turquoise on. So you have 2 beads as you're having the 4-day chant. So then we're done with it, and then okay, at the end of the month in autumn, and then like the fall, and then that's when we're gonna do the other chant. Then you're wearing all these 3 beads at the same time. See, that's how they know. So you can't say, okay, I had these ceremonies done, and then the patient says, well, I want to have a 9-day chant. Okay, how many beads do you have then? I only have the white shell. Where's the rest then? But I want the 9-day. Well, it's up to you. But then the medicine will tell you that you didn't have the 2 other ones, because that means you're lying. See, so that's how they know that how many, really intense care that you did have. So you actually, it's really up to the patient of what they want. But the only way you fully heal is to go through that whole thing. See, so overall, so that's how the diagnose goes. So the pre one is that you feel better. Then you say, okay, I'm going to get the full, I need to get that thing. So sometimes you get that smaller version and you feel really good about it. Good for you. But then it's up to the patient, because the medicine man doesn't call and say, you need to come back, or, my assistant is calling you. You need to have this appointment. You have that appointment, And this one, this is where the buffalo people, and this is where they used to raise the buffaloes in here too. And these are some of the people, the fire dancers and everything. So they used to do the a yunbeyin. So some of those fire dancers, they have horns, and then they do those kind of dances. So then this is the male. So there's 7, 6, and 7. So this one is like telling them we're gonna do this, and they're hunting the deer away. Like Niitzin. Niitzin is that they used to have do a corral, and they would sing to the deer, and a lot of deers will just come down and lure them into that corral and make the unwounded buckskin. And those buckskin was to make instruments, paraphernalia for their their ceremonies and everything. So this is what it actually represents. So these are, and then right here, you see this. Then how does this connect and everything? And then so they just had to just have that connection. That's what it's saying. That the bowstring and then the bow, and then the bowstring. So then that they were called the Bowstring Society. No, I'm just kidding. But then, no, dude, and di kuya then dude, no, yes, if one ran in front of you, it's time to give it an offering. So this is the coyote, and then now you see all of these, OMG, there's more now that are, riding on it. So these are the rivers and everything. So all is in odd. So I'm gonna also take a picture of it. There was some at the bottom. See how it's going away, and all these things. And this one is number 6. So, and that's what it represents. 6. So, hastha. It means a young person is here and everything. That's what it represents. Not the 4 layers and everything, according to the numbers. And then the male, and then DDV. So I don't know what that represents. So then, these other animals. And then this one was a full panel of it too. But we don't see anything. So somebody was probably breaking something off of it. Probably destroying it. So later on, they just had these on here. Some of these, like other, were being attacked, and they would come across. So these are not Mexicans; they were other tribes and everything. So they wore stuff and everything. And this one, you see it on Ancient Aliens. This one, they always show this one. It's probably an alien and everything. But this one represents, the lightning in the fire dances. That's how they dance and everything too. So then that one also. So drawing that. So there was 2 people here drawing the same thing. And this is the sun. And right here is the eyes. But this one, this sun wasn't here. Way down there, you could have seen the full sun. But the sun got up. And then this is also the Monster Slayer. As I said, they wore horns and everything to protect themselves. And also the Fire Dancer again. And then these have, because they had to do they weren't fully drawn or something. They probably left at that time. And it happened on 70 sun. So it's also talking about that the eclipse, to where that this usually happens, and they do have like ceremonies, the lightning way, wind way, and then the hickory wind way, and the blessing way. They have eclipse too. Nobody ever seen that before, but there's usually 4, and Huizhong does have the sun, and then the moon, and it has also the eclipse too. And very interesting, if somebody's going to be watching, I wonder what he's talking about. Yes, I've seen it before, and I knew the medicine man that knew how to do it. So anyways, and that's how that's what it's saying. This drawing right here wasn't there. So, and if you go across, they will all say the same thing. So no matter what, there's always going to be a creation. And a lot of things for us in Navajo, it makes a lot of sense. And then if you go to another culture, how the way of living, they tell their stories, and it makes a lot of sense of how they do their stuff, and then how they came about and everything.